Good morning. I've come, as you can see, to a field this morning. Now we've had a few sort of on location Friday Devotionals the past few weeks. We've been to some exciting places, the docks, the Knocker Monument, Donaghadee, and now you're thinking, we're in a field. What is going on? Could we not have done a bit better than this? No, this is not the best that Ballyclare has to offer, but I thought it would be good for you to see my country roots, and it ties in with what we're going to think about this morning. It's a field. There's grass all around us. There's flowers, wildflowers that have grown up. It's the time of year, isn't it, when farmers are very concerned about their grass. Is the sun shining enough so it will grow? Is there enough rain so it will get fed? Can they get a few dry days in a row so they can get out there with their tractors and harvest some of that grass and make hay while the sun shines? They're very concerned, and rightly so, about their grass. They want it to grow. They want it to be right so they can make the hay and the straw that their animals need. The grass of the field. Jesus, in his earthly ministry, had something to say to us, didn't he, about the grass of the field? You remember what he said in the Sermon on the Mount. He said, "Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin, yet I tell you, even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. But if God so clothes the grass of the field, which today is alive and tomorrow is thrown into the oven, will he not much more clothe you, O you of little faith?" The Lord Jesus is speaking to us about anxiety, about the anxiety that we often feel about many ordinary things in life. There's much to be anxious about just now, isn't there? Not just the ordinary things of life. Perhaps the difficulties that we come into in our family lives at home, sometimes the feuds that can fester within our relationship. There's other things, aren't there, at the minute? Second waves of the virus, localised outbreaks, job security for the future, our children's education, going to the shops, coming out of lockdown. What is it all going to look like? How will life be different? And there's so much at the minute that might rise up in our hearts and lives and make us anxious and worried and concerned. And Jesus here in Matthew 6 is speaking to us about anxiety. He has lived on this earth. He knows what it is to be a human being. He knows what it is to face the pressures of life. And yet he doesn't want us to be weighed down and overcome by the pressures of life. He doesn't want us to be anxious. And to help us understand that, he points us to the grass of the field. He says, look at the grass of the field. It doesn't toil or spin. It doesn't have to work or worry. And yet, look at its clothing. It's more splendid than even the royal robes of Solomon, he says. The richest king who ever lived. You cannot compare the lilies in the field to Solomon's robes, because the lilies in the field win outright. And he is reminding us that God cares even for the grass in the field and the flowers that grow. God cares for his creation. And his argument then is, how much more does he care for you if you're his child? He cares for you immensely. He loves you so much. And Jesus points us to the grass in the field because he wants us to see that God cares for us. And I want to remind you of that this morning. There is an awful lot that might make us anxious, an awful lot going on in society, and an awful lot going on in our lives. But God doesn't want us to be anxious. Jesus wants to strengthen our faith, and his visual aid is the grass in the field. Look at the grass in the field. Look at the lilies growing. Consider the birds in the air. God cares for them all. How much more does God care for you?